Welcome to the This Mum Loves Tech podcast, the go-to show for female business owners who want to simplify tech and get the support they need to grow their online businesses with confidence. I'm Nicola Walsh, your podcast host. I'm also a mum to two cheeky boys and I love tech, so you don't have to. I'm here to share actionable tips, tools and strategies that will help you streamline your business and make the tech work for you. So whether you're watching after the kids have gone to bed or listening while on the school run, let's dive into today's episode and make tech that little bit easier. Hello and welcome to another edition of This Mum Loves Tech and the first episode of 2026. Oh, I can't believe we are in the new year, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of reflect on 2025, what's been happening in This Mum Loves Tech, and then also kind of highlight some of the plans that I have got for 2026, because I feel it's going to be a big, exciting year. Not only because it's my 40th birthday this year, can't quite believe it, but I like to go big with birthdays. So I have got lots of things planned, a birthday bonus week, which will be coming. I mean, my birthday's not till June, so, but, we can eke these things out, make the birthday last as long as possible. And I'm also going to be running my first in-person event on the 30th of June. So very excited about that. Still finalising exactly what that's going to be, but more information will be coming. So if you are on my email list, you'll be the first to hear about that. And if you're not on my email list yet, there's plenty of opportunities in the show notes for you to come, get yourself my time-saving checklist, and then you'll be on my email list ready to hear about that event happening on the 30th of June. So let's rewind before we get too carried away with what's coming in 2026. Let's look back at what happened in 2025. So for me, 2025, if I had to sum it up in a word, was the year of creation, or the word is creation. It was a lot of building out my offers, testing new ideas, and seeing what it was that people really needed when it came to their tech support. So as I came into 2025, I had the membership and I'd already run my Launch Your Lead Magnet Using MailerLite course once. And really over the last 12 months, I've really kind of looked at all the different things I'm offering. How do I want to work with people, and how do my clients, the people that are in my world, want help from me? So one of the first things I did was I launched a podcast. So you're obviously listening or watching to this now. I started that at the end of January. It was something that actually, when I launched This Mum Loves Tech, This Mum Loves Tech was going to be the name of the podcast. Kind of everything else, I then had the idea to create a Facebook group. That's where people was going to be able to ask questions after listening or watching the episodes. And it all sort of ended up going not in the order that I expected it. So the podcast itself was actually the last thing that I launched, but it did launch at the end of January. And I have to say, it's been a bit of a labour of love. It's something that has taken up a lot more time than I was expecting it to. Just because I'm doing it all myself. So I'm editing it, recording it, I'm editing it, I'm uploading it and doing all of the assets for it, because at the moment I just don't have the budget to outsource it. And there were other things that I wanted to outsource. So I had to make the decision of where is the best place to outsource my time. So rather than get someone to help me with the podcast, I actually got someone to help me with the membership. So I also hired Lizzie Harwood, my VA. I think that was around the beginning of 2025, and she helps me with the membership management. So with sorting out all the emails, all the emails that say what calls are happening each week, the 15-minute reminders, the monthly reminders, like all that kind of stuff, because I feel like it's more important that they go out. And if a podcast episode drops and I don't post one every week, which I didn't, in full transparency, over 2025, I published 39, like this is the 39th episode. So I published 38 because obviously this is going out in January. Although I'm recording it in December, full disclosure. So yeah, I recorded 38 out of the 52 weeks. So it's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not one every week, which is what I intended to, but I had to just, every time I came up against a deadline for something else, I had to look at what could lapse, and I felt that the podcast could. And that's why, I got the help with the membership, because I felt that that can't lapse, because people are paying monthly for that, and they need to know when the calls are happening. I also spent the first half of 2025 sorting out like my freebies and my funnels to make sure that I really had resources that people needed. I felt like coming into 2025, I was clearer on how I was helping people, and it was mainly getting started with email marketing and then also simplifying their tech. And that's why I then created my email marketing made easy guide and my time saving tech checklist over the kind of first half of 2025, so that people had those guides that they needed, to get started with those areas of tech without having to pay out for the information. So that was definitely something that I worked on over the last 12 months. The membership's definitely been something that has evolved over 2025. It only launched at the end of 2024, September 2024. So coming into 2025, we were only a couple of months in. I was still really understanding how people wanted tech support. And so that's when I moved to having weekly tech support calls, the monthly guest masterclasses. And then over this year, they have evolved to be now themed. So each quarter is themed. And it's just made it a lot clearer for me in what guests I invite into the membership. And also for my members, what content and what projects they could work on. So for example, quarter one of this year of 2026 is all about social media. So I've got Sarah Donahue from Motortone Media coming in to talk to us about Instagram updates for 2026. I've then got Beth Kirk from Socially Oxford coming in to talk about LinkedIn and how to best use it in 2026. And then I have got Laura Goodson from LG Insightful Brands coming to talk to us about how we can really nurture our connections through our social media, because it's all very well knowing how to use the platforms, but it's really about how to nurture those clients into customers, becoming customers. So I feel like that really nicely goes together, because they're the kind of main platforms that I feel that my membership are using. So they're going to get to know how to use them properly. And then I'll be running masterclasses alongside that on things like how to use Meta Business Suite, how to set up various other bits. I think we're doing one on Google My Business, are the ones planned for quarter one. So they all kind of like link together quite nicely. And that's really, like I said, helped me with planning the membership content. I've already got most of the guests sorted for quarter two, the themes, what I'm going to be doing. It just helps me plan ahead. Whereas when I was just kind of, everything didn't connect together, it was a lot harder to make it all work. So that's definitely been a change that I'm going to take forward into 2026. And then the other big thing was I ran my Launch Your Lead Magnet Using MailerLite, now called Ignite Your Email List, live 3 times. And I loved running it live. But what I found was if people didn't keep up with the course live over those 6 weeks, they then, and going back and watching an hour recording when it comes to tech is quite overwhelming. Whereas I've now moved it to self-study, but with the membership alongside it. So because I'm doing weekly calls in the membership anyway, if people are stuck with their Ignite Your Email List course and have got questions, they can come to those weekly calls and help them move. But because I've now been able to do it in a self-study version, I've broken those videos down into really small bite-sized videos. So some of them are only like a couple of minutes long, because the way I've designed it is that they're a step. So it might be that step only takes you a couple of minutes to do, but you can complete it. And there are other ones that are longer. I think the longest video is about 18 minutes long, because it's there's more steps to that part of the process. I think it's designing your first form, because there's different bits to it. But that if you've watched that video, you're going to complete that part of the task. And the feedback I've got is that's been really helpful. Whereas when I've done the live ones, if people couldn't keep up with it as I was going along, they would then find it difficult to watch the replays back, because they were these hour-long calls. And it was like, I just needed that bit that you spoke about and I'd forgotten. Whereas now having it broken down into the into those smaller videos, people are getting results a lot quicker, which is brilliant. So going forward, Ignite Your Email List will be a self-study course, and I'm also going to be soon launching my Google Workspace starter kit. So my theory is that they're going to go together quite nicely, sort your emails out because you need a professional email address to do your email marketing, and then you'll have that step-by-step in how to use MailerLite so you can get your email marketing up and running. And again, the Google Workspace one's going to have the bite-sized videos, and they're both going to come with a free month in the membership. And then obviously you've got that option to continue in the membership for the £30 a month afterwards. But it also means that it's a lower cost, because what I found as well is, you know, when you see all the things of you need a 4-figure offer and you can up your prices for that, and that's all well and good, and I do totally believe that you should be charging what you're worth, but also you've got to be charging what your audience can afford. And for people that have not got an email list at all, that are really starting out on that journey, they don't also have a lot of money to invest. So by making it self-study with the membership, it's a lot more affordable option for people, so they can do the most important thing, which is get their email marketing running. And then I've now got other ways that you can work with me on a one-to-one basis if you want like full-on support and me to kind of be there doing it with you. And that's where I've come to launch Tech School. And I'm absolutely, like, it's only just in its first term, but I am absolutely loving Tech School. Already seeing the progress that the ladies have made after just, one tech day or a few hour calls has been brilliant. And I just can't wait to see where they're at the end of the term together, because I know it's really going to change their business by having that done with you support. And I'm there helping them build the things. Like when I'm recording this today, I have had calls with 2 of the Tech School ladies, and one of them, we've been moving her website from Wix to WordPress. And by having the sessions with me and then working on it by herself, she's almost got her whole website like redesigned in a matter of a couple of weeks, which is amazing. And hopefully we're going to do that final switch over in the next couple of weeks. So really in the space of like a month, she's got her website moved over, which is brilliant. But it's something that she has understood how to do it. So she's able to now make changes to her own website, design new pages if she wants to, but she knows that I'm there to like help with like making the layout look great. Like I did the initial layout for the first page, and then she used that as like a template going forward. And yeah, I really feel like done with you is the way forward. And that's really one of the biggest lessons that I have learned from 2025 is making tech simple and having the time and the patience to let people learn and take it all in is where real progress is actually happening. Trying to do things quickly and do, I'm a big thing of not doing everything fully done for you, because then you don't learn how to maintain it going forward. And you've always got that expense of having to get someone in to help you do it. Whereas by learning it yourself, and even if it means I have to repeat myself multiple times, then that's what I have to do, because people learn in different ways. And what a lot of my people I've been working with have really discovered is they don't need more tools. They just need to understand what they already have, and just seeing when things click and watch their confidence grow and be like, yeah, I can do this. Like a lot of it is not complicated. What's complicated is just understanding what bit does what. And once you know what bit does what, really putting a website together is just copying and pasting text into boxes. It's just knowing where that box is, and how to lay it out. Like, again, I was working on another website again today, and she didn't have all of the information we needed to make the page live. So I hid a section, and it was just understanding how she can now turn that section on. And we did it, like it's recorded, so she can go back and watch that. And then all she's got to do is turn it on and copy in different text into the boxes, because the design's all there, and then it's ready. it's just things like that that I can see how their confidence has grown. They're like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can copy text into a box, you know. It's just understanding those little bits of, yeah, where the text box is and stuff. So if you've been a long-standing listener of the podcast and you were here for some of my earlier episodes, in episode 3, I did a lot more background of my story and how I got to where I am now. But one of the things that I've always kind of wanted to do and didn't think was possible for me was teach. And yeah, like I said, I go into a lot more detail in episode 3, which I'll put the link of down below. But what I've really realized in 2025 is I am teaching people things. I'm just not doing it in the kind of teacher capacity. And what I've realized is I don't think I could teach kids. Having 2 of my own and trying to manage them on a daily basis, I don't know how teachers do it. They are total superheroes. Whereas teaching adults is very different. You know, they want to be there, they want to learn, but then they don't maybe have as much of the spongeness as kids. So it does mean that you have to repeat things. And one of the things I got told time and time again on calls is, I can't, like, you're so patient. How do you be so patient? And it's like, well, you don't know the stuff. So there's no point me being like, well, why don't you have you not learned this? If it's something you've never experienced before in all of your years, expecting you to know it after I've just told you once. I mean, I know what my memory is like. Whereas if I tell my 7-year-old something, or even if I don't tell him, he just overhears it, he remembers. You know, his memory is ridiculous. Whereas mine, like, he'll say, I told you that yesterday, mummy. And I'll be like, did you? Because I don't remember. And it's just having that kind of realization that as adults, we learn differently and we're not going to take it all in the first time we learn something. And that's okay. Like, if you need to ask someone again, can you just show me that again? Like, why not? Because the most important thing is you understand how to do the thing. And if it means you have to be told it 5 times, or I need to record it in a different way, like I've done that for people where we've done something in a call and they're like, I couldn't quite follow along with what you did before, and I've just recorded that one bit for them in a slightly different angle so they then can follow it easier. You know, that's what the most important thing to me is, that you understand how to use the tech, because it shouldn't be draining your time. Tech should be something that saves you time, and if it's not doing that, then either it's not the right tech for you or you don't know how to use it well enough yet. And that's very important, that you then get some more understanding of it, because yeah, tech should be saving you time, and if it's not, then it's just not the right tech for you. Now, all of this stuff sounds brilliant, like all the things that I've managed to do in 2025, but I do want to be real that it did come at a cost. I was not starting work some days till 9 o'clock at night, like especially if it was a day where I wasn't working. So Wednesdays are my non-working day. I'm with my little one all day that day. And so sometimes I wouldn't be doing anything till 9 o'clock in the evening once both boys are in bed. And therefore I'd be working till late at night to get stuff done. And like I said, especially with things like the podcast, when it came to launching new things, you know, I'm a great planner. What I have discovered is I can plan. And it's like that. I think I might have mentioned it on the podcast before, but it's like that episode of Friends. If you're a Friends fan like me, hopefully you'll remember the episode where Monica is catering the wedding of Ross's ex-wife, Carol. And she says, I planned and planned and planned, but what I didn't plan was to actually do the work. So she had this great step-by-step plan of everything she had to do on the day, but what she didn't factor in was enough time to do it. And that definitely sums up 2025 for me. Like, I had great plans, I had breakdowns of plans, you know, I use ClickUp for all my planning and organizing, and I had tasks with subtasks with dates on of when I needed to do them by, so I knew my deadlines. But what I really struggled with was then actually working out how much time those tasks took to then reach that deadline. So often whatever the deadline was, the night before, I would be up to ridiculous o'clock trying to get it finished. And especially if it was on a night where I didn't start work till 9 o'clock, you can imagine I had some like midnight, 1 o'clock finishes to get things done. And that's when I had to make those priorities of what needed to happen and what could shift, and why, some weeks the podcast didn't happen. And I don't regret it, but I just wanted to say that that is the reality, that sometimes evenings were a bit of a trying to get things done, because I knew how important it was to get it done. And it always comes down to that choice. I could have not done some of the things, but then I know I wouldn't have given people the best experience possible, and the best experience that I wanted to give them. So actually, for me, staying up late to get it done and knowing that it was done was better than not doing it. But I know this can't continue into 2026. I don't even know what hobbies are at this point. I haven't really been able to do anything. The house is in a bit of a mess. So that's why it was really important for me going into 2026 that I had a clear structure of how I work with people and how I'm going to work with them into 2026. And I don't feel like I have much new stuff to create. It's more about refining what I've already got. And like I said, 2025 was a big year of creation, like really discovering what people need and how I can offer that to them. It was very much done, not perfect. The stuff got done, but I know some of it could be done a bit better. So 2026 is a way of refining what I've already done and then growing what I already have. So growing my audience, growing the membership, all things like that, rather than keep creating new stuff. One thing I noticed about 2025 was there's a lot more in-person events. I was really lucky. I went to quite a couple of events. I exhibited at an event at the beginning of the year. I did a lot more in-person networking. I went on some mastermind days, and I went on my first retreat in September of 2025, which was brilliant. And being in person, there is obviously everything I do is online in terms of teaching, and actually what it is I'm teaching is online stuff. But getting that connection with people, and I think that's a big thing that, AI has been massive in 2025, but I'm seeing everyone talk about it, that 2026 is about bringing in the human part. And I feel that in-person stuff is really what brings in that human element and a way of getting to know people. So what I've committed to is to trying to go to a networking event every week. And I've also got some bigger in-person events, but I'm going to a mastermind day with Natalie Potts next week. I'm going to The Edge, which is being hosted by Gina Trick and Kay Sudgar, which is in April. I'm going to Laura Brunton's Ignited Women event, which I went to last year and was brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm hopefully going to make Atomicon in person this year. I have my tickets, but I know I can switch to virtually if I need to. It's just going to depend on how the boys get on, because I've also got a lot of 40th things, because lots of my friends are 40 this year as well. So we've got a few trips away. So it's just seeing how the boys cope with all of that. But yeah, that is the plan, is to go in person up to Newcastle. And I've never been to Newcastle before, so that is really exciting. And then, of course, I'm going to be running my very first event at the end of June. So I'm still very much deciding what that's going to look like. But the main thing I want it to be is a celebration of this Mum Loves Tech community, because we have done everything online. I really want it to be a chance for people to get to know each other in person, because I have seen in 2025 how important those in-person connections are, and I want to be able to provide that for my community. So I mean, it's going to be open to everybody, whether you're in the membership, whether you're in the Facebook group or not, but the real focus is going to be about meeting people in the community and getting to know each other better, and leaving with more established connections and things like that, as well as learning some stuff as well. So yeah, really looking forward to putting that together and making it something that I know that this Mum Loves Tech community need and want. So really, using the Facebook group, using the people who are in the membership to find out what it is that they want as I'm putting the day together. So tickets for that will be going on sale soon at the early bird price of £75 for the day, and that includes your lunch and drinks and stuff and the whole day and a goodie bag and all that kind of thing. And it also includes a headshot. So I've got the brilliant Siobhan Johns coming to take photographs. So everyone will get a headshot as part of their ticket as well. Because also sometimes having a full brand shoot, I know, especially a lot of the ladies in the community have said, oh, I need to get my brand photos done, but I can't quite afford it yet. I want you to be able to leave this event with a brilliant photo, and I know they'll be brilliant because Siobhan is brilliant, that you can then use to post about, to use in your content to help you keep making more connections. Yeah, it's just going to be brilliant. So I can't wait for that. And as soon as I have more details, I'll be putting them on my socials. So make sure you're following me. Instagram is my main platform. And really that ties into my word for 2026, which is connection, and just meeting more people, making more connections, and really elevating what I do online. You know, I still need to do online to do the work that I do. You know, I need to be able to see your screens, and not everyone can get to me where I'm based. So, you know, online is never going to go away from me. That is how all of my actual client work works. But to get to meet people in person and have more than just the time we have on the other side of a screen is going to be brilliant. And so, yeah, connection is definitely my word for 2026. So just to sum up, really, 2025 has been about creation, and I'm really proud of how much I have created this year and the people that I've worked with. I think must have worked with over 100 people over the last year, and helping them with their tech and seeing the progress they've made has been amazing. But I really want to, like I said, deepen those connections, deepen those relationships. I want to also be less frantic with my own creation, try not to be so much Monica planning the wedding, but more create the plan and then actually action it with a bit more notice and a bit more time. And I just want to spend more of my time actually delivering and supporting my clients rather than creating, you know, because that's where the real change happens, is when I can actually be working with my clients. And I feel like I've now got this kind of bank of resources and ways that I can support people going forward, which I know help people whatever stage their business is at. You know, if you're early on in your business and, you know, you don't have the resources to invest in one-to-one support, you know, that's what the membership is there for. With it being £30 a month, I feel like it's a manageable way for people to get support. And the calls are weekly, you know, so it's not like you don't get a lot of support. You get weekly tech support. And I've been kind of playing around with, do I open and close the membership? Do I keep it open all the time? So I have decided that I'm going to now reopen it for 2026 and keep it open at least for the first quarter, because yeah, I want it to be something that as I talk to people, if they're ready, if they need tech support right now, they shouldn't need to wait till it reopens. You know, they need the help right now. I can be like, right, well, there's a call on Thursday or whatever, you know, join the membership, get on the call and I can help you. So yeah, so I'm going to open it all year round, but I'm going to keep the themes quarterly. They're going to continue. And then I've got kind of the mid-tier stuff now, like the Ignite Your Email List course and the Google Workspace Starter Kit. And then obviously a one-to-one call with me if you just want an hour. They're all kind of relatively similar in the investment. Obviously, a 1 hour call with me, you get an hour, but it's one-to-one. So we can really focus on what you and your business need. Where with the courses, they're like hours of content there for you to work through in your own time, knowing that the membership is then there if you do have any questions. And then my big focus, my main thing that I'm going to be looking at for 2026 is tech school, because I just love it. I work with quite a few different mentors, I've been in quite a few different memberships over 2025, and the main thing everyone was telling me, the feedback I was getting, was that I needed like a signature offer, a main way that people could work with me. And they kept saying about done for you, and there was something at me that was just pushing up against it, like I don't want to do it. I don't feel that aligns with what I do, which is empowering people to understand their own tech. If I just do it for them, I'm not helping people. It's like that old saying that if you teach someone to fish, is that the saying? If you give someone a net, then they can fish for food. Whereas if you just catch the fish, I don't know, I can't remember the saying. There's something about fish anyway, and providing the net is better than providing the fish. Something like that. And I think this is a bit, I may have totally gone off key with that one, but basically that's what I feel like. Done for you is like giving someone the thing and then they can use it and then that's it. It's done. But then if they want to do it again, they don't know where it came from. They don't know how to do any edit it at all. And that just doesn't sit right. I don't feel like that's empowering people very much. Whereas done with you and what tech school offers is that combination of I will do some of the stuff for you, but I'll make sure you understand how it works so that you haven't got that dependency on other people to help you run your business. Because if things change within your business and you can no longer, situations change and maybe you can't keep up with the support that you had, knowing that your whole systems aren't going to collapse because you don't know how to make an update is going to serve you whatever your situation is happening with the rest of your business. Yeah, and that's why I'm really excited to continue with Tech School, and we'll be opening the doors to Tech School again in March. So if that sounds like something you're interested in and you want that kind of done with you support, but like really big done with you things, we're talking websites, we're talking funnels, we're talking courses and memberships, like we can get those kind of things done, but so that you understand how they work so you can maintain them going forward. Or you can get someone in to maintain it for you, but then like I said, if ever that person can't do it anymore, you can take it back confidently knowing you understand how it works yourself. So I just want to thank you, whether this is the first episode you've listened to of This Mum Loves Tech or whether you've been here since day one. Like, thank you for joining me in this journey. Thank you for being part of the This Mum Loves Tech community. And I'm just really excited for 2026. I know it's going to be big. I know there's going to be lots happening. Like I said, not only the fact that I'm turning 40, but lots of big things happening, not just for me, but for my clients as well, because I can see the direction that they're going in. And whether you have been resting the last couple of weeks over the Christmas period, or whether you've been working in between, there's no right or wrong. I just hope that you are starting the new year. It is a new year. So if 2025 did not go well, this is a new year and a new start. And if 2025 did go well, the new year doesn't mean it's going to all change. That just keep that momentum going and continue the goodness of 2025 into 2026. I know for so many people close to me, like personally, friends and family, people who are in my community, like 2025 has been a hard year. And I know there's a lot of people that are looking forward to leaving 2025 behind. So yeah, however you find yourself coming into 2026, it is a new year. And if tech support is something that is going to help make 2026 a better year for you, or if tech support is going to be something that's going to help you maintain the momentum, then I hope that you will turn to me and This Mum Loves Tech for that support. You don't need to figure out tech on your own. And that's the thing I want to kind of leave everyone with, is that we don't have to figure out anything on our own. Just ask the questions, get the support you need, and it doesn't have to be something that's going to completely leave you out of pocket. There are ways that you can get support, not just from me, but from everyone in the online world. There are ways that you can get support for free. There are ways that you can get support low cost. And there is no point putting yourself into debt and giving yourself all that extra stress. And I hope that the way that I have built This Mum Loves Tech means that you can get support at whatever stage you're at, and then it can help support you as your business continues to grow. So yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you for being part of 2025, or whether you're new to this podcast, for being here today. And I will put all the details in the show notes of ways that you can find out more about the membership. you can get on my email list for one of my free resources, so the Email Marketing Made Easy guide or the time saving checklist, and also come join the free Facebook group where I share my weekly 2-minute tech tips. And if you've got a tech question, come and ask it there as well. There is no such thing as a stupid question in my book. You just don't know what you don't know. So yeah, I hope you join me. I've got a brilliant series of guests coming up for the rest of January. I can't wait. Yeah, we've got goal setting, we've got accountability, and we've got Instagram updates. So lots of brilliant things. I can't wait for those guests to all join me over the next coming weeks. And I hope that you will be joining me too on the next episode of This Mum Loves Tech. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of This Mum Loves Tech. If you're ready to save time and cut through the overwhelm when it comes to the tech and the tools your business really needs, don't forget to grab my free time-saving tech checklist. It's a super simple checklist that shows you what tools are, I believe, essential for your business, what can wait, and what you may have signed up to that you're not actually using. Download your copy at thismumlovestech.co.uk/checklist and start making the tech work for you. You can also find the link in the show notes below, and I'll see you in the next episode.